Part 3, final year students. I am Dr. Sneh Singh and I will be taking up English Literature Paper 1 and Paper 2 with you. Now, for the first class, we'll go about discussing the syllabus. Paper 1, the latest syllabus. According to the latest syllabus, the aims or the objectives for this paper are: first, interpretation and appreciation of selected texts from the genre of poetry, drama, prose, and fiction. So, we'll go about reading all these genres, and you will have to learn to interpret and appreciate all the selected texts that you will be reading. Next aim is strengthening skills of note making, summarizing, and dialogue writing. That means it is expected of you people that by the end of the year you have better skills of note making and you are capable of summarizing and even writing your own dialogues if need be. And the third objective of this paper will be understanding texts with specific references to genres, forms, and literary terms. That means we will be reading all these texts, poetry, drama, to understand specific given texts and their references to various forms. And we shall be picking up a few more of literary terms which you have already been doing since part 1. Now, the first paper will be of 3 hours duration and will be carrying maximum of 100 marks, and you all know that the minimum passing marks happen to be 36. Now, how will the questions be? The first question will be a compulsory question. Every candidate will be required to explain 4 passages of reference to context out of 8 of 5 marks each, with a total of 20 marks. The second question again will be compulsory, and all student will be required to attempt 5 questions out of 10 to be answered in about 5 lines each. Each question will carry 4 marks to a total of 20 marks. The other 3 questions will be essay type questions of 20 marks each, one from each section with internal choice. So, in all, we will have to attempt 5 questions from 3 sections. Each section has to be represented with a question each, and the first 2 are compulsory. Now, let's come to the actual syllabus, which is section A, B, and C. The syllabus has been divided into 3 sections. The first section has the following poems from String of Gold, Part 3, edited by Jasbir Jain and published by Macmillan. You all can go and demand this book, Strings of Gold, from the bookshop, and you will see that it has covered all the poems that are in your syllabus. In the first section, you will read Tennyson, Ulysses, the very famous poem written by Tennyson. The second will be a very famous dramatic monologue by Robert Browning, My Last Duchess. Then we will be reading Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold, The Sea and the Skylark by G.M. Hopkins, A Prayer for My Daughter written by W.B. Yeats, and Preludes written by T.S. Eliot. This covers our section A. Now let's come to section B. The following poems from texts and their words, edited by Anna Kurian, Foundation Books, published in 2005, has all these poems. So one book will contain all these poems. Kalidas and Bhavabhuti and Bharthari. These are these 3 very famous Indian poets who have collectively written a lot of poems, of which we will be reading Is Poetry Always Worthy When It's Old? Then next we have Sayyid Amanuddin, who is an Indian writer settled in England. His famous poem Don't Call Me Indo-Anglian. Let's come down to R. Parthasarthi, who has written From Homecoming. Again, a very famous Indian writer. We will be reading his poem Hiroshima, which is a translation from Hindi to English. M. Gopalakrishna Adig, I'm sure you are familiar with. He again is a very renowned poet of Hindi. Here again we will be reading a translation, Do Something, Brother. Eunice D'Souza, his poem Women in Dutch Painting. O.N.V. Kurup, Earthen Pots. Stairs by A. Jayaprabha. Of O Great Poet by Daya Pawar. And The Election by Sitakant Mahapatra. I hope you notice, students, that all these poets are our own. That means they belong to India, or they have roots in Indian culture. Therefore, this, I hope you appreciate the gesture made by the university and the Board of Studies to inculcate and incorporate Indian writers into your syllabus so that you feel more comfortable and you get to read your culturally relevant poets in your syllabus. Now, when we come down to section C, we have two plays. One is Girish Karnad's Tughlaq and the other is Eugene O'Neill's The Hairy Ape. So, this covers our first paper, and we shall be carrying on with the first section, and next time when we meet I will discuss or take up one of the poems with you. Thank you.